Former President Donald Trump will testify under oath on 15 July in New York. Attorney General Letitia James's investigation into his business practices, according to a court filing released Wednesday. His daughter Ivanka Trump and son Donald Trump Jr. will also testify. News of next month's testimony is the latest development in the 3-year investigation into the former president's dealings after he failed in an attempt last month to stop her investigation and ended up paying a $110,000 fine. James has said investigators have found significant evidence of wrongdoing in the investigation, which has honed in on whether the Trump Organization misstated the values of its real estate properties to obtain favorable loans and tax deductions. The Attorney General previously said her investigation discovered evidence suggesting that for more than a decade the company's financial statements relied on misleading asset valuations and other misrepresentations to secure economic benefits. The Trumps are scheduled to testify beginning on 15 July, but they have until 13 June to ask New York State's highest court, the Court of Appeals, to further delay any testimony. The testimony would be postponed if that court issued a stay. Trump and his children had earlier argued that testifying in the civil investigation would violate their constitutional rights because their words could be used in a related criminal investigation led by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Trump has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and has not been accused of criminal wrongdoing. He has called the investigation a witch hunt. Former President Donald Trump and 2 of his adult children are tentatively set to begin testifying as part of a civil investigation of the Trump family business by the New York Attorney General on July 15, a court filing revealed Wednesday. The agreement to testify by Trump and Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka Trump is conditional. The testimony would not start on that date if a New York State Appeals Court issues a stay of a judge's order that the Trumps must answer questions under oath by investigators for Attorney General Letitia James. Lawyers for the family and company have repeatedly but unsuccessfully tried to block a subpoena for their testimony from James, as well as other demands for information from the company. A stipulation filed in Manhattan Supreme Court on Wednesday gives the Trumps until Monday to ask the state's highest court, the Court of Appeals, to stay the order for the testimony. If there is no stay, each of the Trumps will be questioned separately starting July 15, and conclude those depositions by the following week. That testimony will not be conducted in public. James is investigating the Trump Organization for possibly illegal manipulation of the stated valuations of various real estate assets owned by that company. The Attorney General specifically is looking into whether the company gave different valuations for an asset to obtain more favorable conditions on loans and insurance, as well as for tax benefits. Donald Trump Jr. currently operates the Trump Organization with his brother Eric Trump, who previously answered questions under oath by James investigators. Ivanka Trump, who served as senior White House advisor during her father's presidency, is a former top executive in the Trump Organization. The Trumps have been fighting for months to avoid having to testify in the probe, which the ex-president has repeatedly called a witch hunt. Manhattan Supreme Court Judge Arthur Engoron, after a contentious hearing on February 1, said Trump and his children must comply with James' subpoenas compelling their testimony. Engoron, in a written order, noted that James' investigation had uncovered copious evidence of possible financial fraud at the Trump Organization. She has the clear right to ask questions of the principals of that company, he added. Lawyers for the family and the company appealed Engoron's order in late February. On May 26, that appeal was denied in a unanimous ruling by the Appellate Division of the 1st Judicial Department of Manhattan Supreme Court.